where are you with what it is that we're doing with equals power 2?
I think what I my interpretation of it, it's purely interpretation, is that you're trying to create a financial model to support kind of the ambient exchange of value that occurs before an idea is commercializable, prior to it being a product, prior to it being something, prior to it having a separate, discrete entity to itself. There is a huge amount of untraded value that actually is invested in. And usually what's interesting, and I would probably agree with the maths, is that most of that untraded value is probably not even originated by the people that originate the seed. So actually most of that untraded value comes from ambient players that are probably deeply unrecognized in the system. So what you're trying to create is this pre-product ecosystem, financial ecosystem, that actually starts to reward those engagements and to respect those engagements.
There is definitely an aspect like that. I want to see if it's only that or if it goes beyond that.
I'm sure it could go way beyond that. I'm sure it could do other things. It's like, strangely, it's a bit like the SMS, isn't it? We may start by thinking it's an engineering test product, and actually it might have a whole bunch of other uses. But it was built because it was an engineering test product. Let's just try doing it that way. But let's be open to the idea that it might be many other things.
Okay.
Let's not try to build. Strange enough, let's try not to build many other things. Let's just try to do what we were going to do, and then
I agree.
and enjoy it, and then be open to it being many others. Too often we try to describe this kind of massive global economic system shifts, or even complex engagements. Actually, what I like about it is the simplicity of it. It's just the simplicity of a transaction. That is all it is. It is just the simplicity of a transaction, and it's a mechanism of doing it. I think it should be just retorted to being a new way of doing a meeting.
Yeah.
That's it. I think there's an honor of how you do things, and the honor is what you work with, as opposed to some sort of second and third order currencies of tracking ideas and other things. I think that's certainly from my perspective. I think that's how you work, or you try to work. I think that's one thing I was going to say earlier. Sort of just going back to a point. I think one of the things that I learned early on was that one of the things I learned early on was to not assume I was good, but to assume I was going to be biasing things towards me. So to not assume not to assume that I am good, but to assume, say, I'm maligned. So if you start with an assumption that you are not, although I aspire to do good, my general tendency will be to be maligned. Because I think one of the things I learned is that actually, as systems grow, they create powerful feedback mechanisms, which actually destroy the integrity of individuals. It's just a systemic play. And so what you have to do is create this kind of reverse antibody system pretty early on, which is to start with an assumption that you are going to fall into that trap, and the trap will definitely come. So what you then do is, not in a purely game terms, but I think it's just the reality. Then you start to create a language and words and these sort of conversations around you. So you start to be checked by an ecosystem slowly. So the guardian starts controlling you over a period of time. Because effectively this conversation, this videotape recorded on the internet also becomes a testament against myself and the direction that I choose.
Yeah.
So what you have to create is these kind of self-inflicting markers into the system as you're growing. And those markers can positively and negatively feed back into you. And those you have to do continuously. You have to continuously update, but they have to be left. You have to leave the Adrenus thread around you. Otherwise, the risk is that actually you get destroyed. The most interesting people I've met in the world, they take risk as a byproduct, as a result of what they believe in.
Yes.
Not for the sake of taking risks.
Yes.
Because sorry, if someone says, I like taking risks and I want to jump off a window, it's like, yeah, see you, man, that's great. What they're doing is taking risks on an idea, a way of being, a possibility, a dream that could be possible. That's the people you play with. That all the great people do that. I don't know many people who say, I want to be a billionaire, right? It's just a byproduct. If you end up being it because actually you're Bill Gates and you did it, you didn't end up wanting to be a billionaire. You didn't start that story like that. I don't think anyone does. I think you just do what you do. And actually the good guys probably even realize it's just a byproduct. Those risks are very real and they can be hugely isolating. All you can do is, I think all you have to do is work with best intent, work not to be the one that effectively extracts a huge amount of value from the system at the losses of the others. So you have to just work trustfully, and actually there are risks that are taken, obviously, because no system can be built without any form of risk. That sort of underwriting doesn't mean breed good value either. So yes, there are social risks. You try to maintain the risks as close to you, so the fallout isn't to other people as possible.